Good morning, pretties. Happy Sunday. Welcome to day 2 of our Rediscover Me challenge discussion. I'm going to be doing this a lot today because I just put on this little jumpsuit that I'm wearing to a brunch this morning, and I'm afraid I'm going to have a wardrobe malfunction because I realized that it doesn't stay shut the way I thought it was going to. So I'm sorry if I inadvertently flash you. I need to put a little pin or some double-sided tape there. I'm so glad I realized this before I left for the brunch. I saw myself on the camera. I was like, oh yeah, that's not good. All right, so we're coming at you a little bit earlier today. My daughter just got initiated into Kaio. We are so proud of her, and they're having a little brunch this morning for the parents, which is really cool. I love that TCU really involves us in the whole process with her sorority, and I think it's really cool. They did, on bid day, they invited all of us to come over and experience that. And it's just been a lot of fun. And I feel so blessed that we are only an hour away from her. So it's all good. So this morning, we're going to talk about tolerations. And this honestly is one of my favorite exercises from the Rediscover Me challenge, because I feel like it's one of those things that when it dawned on me years ago, when I first started doing this, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all of these little things that build up over time that honestly are so easy to take care of, but we just ignore them. And we don't realize that in the process of doing that, we're eating up bandwidth that we could be using for other things. Like these little tolerations and the little things that we put up with actually suck energy from us, like each and every one of them. And in the example video that you guys watched yesterday, I talked about some of my tolerations from a few years back. I had a really lumpy pillow and I slept on that sucker every night, and I woke up every morning with my neck hurting. And it took me, I don't know, probably at least 6 months to a year before I finally did something about it. But it was as simple as writing it on my shopping list and buying a pillow. It was so easily remedied. But if you don't make a list of your tolerations and you don't keep track of them, they tend to just continue to build and build and build. And that's exactly what happened with mine. I also talked about the example of, and this one seems so silly, but just not having a good razor on the shower. Mine was dull, and just putting a new razor blade on or getting a new razor out and putting in the shower, it's such a good feeling, and it's something that can be just so easily knocked off the list. So that's really what we're going to be talking about today. So if you guys are tuning in, please say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love reading that in the comments. And also, yesterday I asked you to please share these videos with your friends. You guys did an awesome job of that. Please continue, especially as we head into the next module. Tomorrow we're going to be goal setting. Actually, we're doing that today. The discussion will be tomorrow, but we're going to be doing some goal setting around self-care. And I feel like that's something as moms, especially, we really need to do a better job of. We are wired to take care of everybody else, but not necessarily ourselves. And self-care encompasses so much more than just like bubble baths and massages, although those can be ways to take care of yourself. But I think that we need to dig a little bit deeper than that to refresh ourselves, recharge ourselves, so that we're always able to bring our best versions of ourselves to the table every day. And ultimately, that helps us serve everyone better, right? So please continue to share the challenge, because it is 100% free. I am not upselling you to anything. This is just something I've been wanting to do as a community. I felt led by my heart to do this. So I absolutely appreciate you guys spreading the word. And remember that if you're just now tuning in, you can start anytime. You will not be behind. You just sign up at getyourprettyon.com/newyou, and you'll start to receive the emails and the welcome emails and the access and all that good stuff. So do sign up. We do a previous day's discussion of exercises. So I'll be discussing day 2, when in actuality, you're probably working on day 3 today, but I find it helpful to just kind of go back and revisit yesterday's exercise and talk through some of our learnings and share some insights around it. So back to the tolerations. Most of the tolerations on my own personal list, and probably on yours too, are things that maybe take a maximum of 5 to 10 minutes to resolve. I want to be really clear about tolerations. These are not longer term goals, and they shouldn't require a lot of time or bandwidth. So if it feels like it's something that's a bigger, longer term thing, then maybe that's something that's better suited for your goals list instead of your tolerations list. That you can you should be able to knock these out in a week. I guess that's a good test for them. And another important note, this is not, I need to be really clear about this. Tolerations are not to scan your environment and find what's wrong with it. This is not about looking for the negative at all. This is about identifying the small changes that we can do something really easily about. Those little things, like I said, they're eating up your bandwidth, that are causing you some kind of inconvenience. And there's things that you can do something about pretty easily. This is about a sense of accomplishment. It's about finding the little things that you can take care of, and starting out your week, knocking out 3 to 5 things on your list. I recommend starting every Monday, scanning your tolerations worksheet and seeing if there's something that you can put on the list for that week. And I recommend, starting out with 3 per week. I think that's doable. If you can only do 1 this week, then that's okay. You're making progress. So don't beat yourself up for that. That's why every Monday of the challenge in our Facebook group, we do an accountability thread, because I want you guys to check in and say, these are the tolerations I'm going to tackle this week. And then check back in with us toward the end of the week and let us know how it went. And then we can hold each other accountable. Accountability is so important. And also, a lot of us tend to look at our tolerations and we think about some bigger issues in our lives. Like, you can't list your husband as a toleration. I'm sorry. You just can't. Maybe something that is around the house that your husband can help you with can be a toleration. But if you have something big like that, a relationship is a toleration, then maybe that's a good thing to work on in your relationships module, which is going to be in week 4 of the challenge. We saved the best for last, and there's a reason for that. All right, so I'm going to jump into my own tolerations worksheet today. I've got mine all filled out and ready to go. And it's funny because as I was making this list, I was thinking, I don't have a lot of tolerations right now. And then they all started, of course, to come into my mind. And one of my tolerations that I wrote on here, see, I printed this on the back of another sheet of paper because our printer paper is upstairs. And every time I hit print in my office and it goes to my printer, I say, oh my gosh, I don't have paper in the printer. So I hurry up and run and grab old scrap paper and throw it in the printer and print it out on that. So one of my tolerations is I need to march my booty upstairs and get a pack of printer paper today. All right, so I'm going to run through mine. This is the tolerations worksheet, which you can print out on day 2 by signing up at getyourprettyon.com/new. And this is a sheet where you can list out 10 tolerations. If you can't think of 10 to start off, that is not a problem. If you think of 20 to start off, that's okay too. But what you're going to do is go through these after you're done, and you're going to put a star beside 3 to 5 that you want to tackle immediately, that you can get started on this week. So I'm going to read some of mine to you, and maybe this will give you some inspiration. So number 1, I put down dirty cabinets. So last year we decided to paint our kitchen cabinets white. And ever since doing that, I see every single fingerprint, everything the dogs do in the kitchen, all this stuff is all over the cabinets all the time. So this is just a matter of me getting some warm soapy water in the sink and wiping the cabinets down. So that's a pretty easy toleration to tackle. My second one is my personal inbox is overflowing. I need to go through there and clean stuff out. It's tax season, so a lot of stuff gets delivered electronically now. And I just need to go through all of that stuff and either upload it for the CPA or print it off and file it somewhere. All right, I have filthy car on here. My car is so dirty right now. I should take pictures of it and show you. It's so bad. So Ava rides horses. We're at the barn all the time, dirty shoes in and out of the car. We have shavings all over the floor. It's just a mess. And it smells like horses in there too. So we need to take care of that. I say we, meaning I'm going to put Craig on this task. All right. The next one is unfiled papers in my office. So behind me on my desk, I have a little file caddy of unfiled papers. And every time I get something, it goes in there and then it just sits there for months on end. So that's something I could easily take care of in about 10 minutes, I'm sure. Next up, I have burned out light bulbs. We have several light bulbs in the house that are burned out. We just need to go to Lowe's and buy some light bulbs and replace them. So again, super easy to take care of. The next one is, my shower scrunchie, you know, those little things that you put your body wash on, it's falling apart. And I have to actually pick up the pieces and gather it up in my hand and then spray the body wash on it and rub it on myself. And it is a mess. And I just need to buy a new one. I need to put it on my Target list and get one. They're like $1, right? Another small toleration. Next up, leftovers in the fridge. And I'm proud of myself because I wrote this list yesterday and I took care of it yesterday. So all the leftovers are out of the fridge. Yay. Okay, next up, entry light fixture. And this is kind of a bigger one. Our lighting fixtures in our house are starting to look a little dated and I'd like to get a new entry light fixture. So I'm going to go on Wayfair and start dreaming about what I want that light to look like. At least I can start picking one out or narrowing it down. But that's something that I've been wanting to take care of for a couple years now. And then the last one, and this one actually isn't one on my list, but I thought of this because it's one I used to put up with, but I got a new phone, so I don't have this anymore. But, you know, getting all your photos and stuff off your phone so you can speed up your phone. And, you know, if you have your storage full or whatever, that's something that I was talking to our daughter Ava about this week. She's like, I can't, I don't even remember what we asked her to do, something on her phone. She's like, I can't do that because I don't have enough storage on my phone right now. So I'm going to have to delete one of my apps and then do that and then add the app back in. And Craig and I both looked at each other and said, why don't you just take your videos and photos off your phone and clean it off? And she said, well, I don't want to do that because then I might want to access them. But anyway, long story short, I know a lot of us deal with that toleration with our phone performance being subpar, and it's something that can easily be taken care of. But those are my list of tolerations, and I would love to hear what's on yours. If you were able to tackle some this weekend, if you plan to tackle some in the week ahead, please let me know. And you can hop over to our private Facebook group to share those, or you can just comment on this video. But I do want us to hold each other accountable. And I think just putting it out there alone is really helpful toward accountability. So please definitely do that. And join me back here tomorrow morning, Monday morning. We're going to be discussing some self-care goals. If you don't even know where to start with self-care, or maybe you're really good at self-care, I don't know. I've got a worksheet for you, and you can go through a list of recommended self-care items and choose some that you would like to focus on in the year ahead and some that you can definitely get better at. So I hope you guys will join me for that. But have an awesome Sunday, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Bye.